Navigating the uncertainty and U.S. immigration. Following the outcome of the presidential election that happened on November 5th, I know that I am experiencing some anxiety and uncertainty about what's going to happen with U.S. immigration in the months and years to come. And I'm sure that our clients, prospective clients, contacts, friends, colleagues are feeling the same way. But I am here to say that we, the Sumner Immigration Law Team, are here to help and support our clients and that we will get through this. In this video, I want to give a few high-level overviews of changes that we can expect in the coming months. It's high level, it's not anything specific. And then some tips on how to navigate this change together. We'll have a separate video and/or blog post on specific changes that we can anticipate under the Trump administration. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we can surmise some of the things that might happen just based on some of the rhetoric that we've heard and based on a past Trump administration. Today's higher level, just kind of how to navigate this in the moment. So the first thing to keep in mind is that the current policies remain in effect. The Trump administration will not take office until the inauguration in January. So for now, the current immigration laws, regulations, policies, procedures, which are constantly changing anyway, by the way, they will stay in effect. In addition, any executive orders or policy shifts related to or implemented by the Trump administration, again, will not take effect until the Trump administration takes office. So we do have a period of time between now and mid to late January when things will stay roughly the same as they are right now. Keep in mind that when a new president takes office, that president does have the authority to issue executive orders that impact immigration. And we've seen that over the years with various presidents. Certainly we saw that in the Trump administration, but we've also seen it with Obama. We've seen it with Biden. So this is something that's pretty common. And while some of these things do take time to be implemented, the Trump administration is making plans, and they have been. So who knows what's going to happen, but know that there are not going to be any immediate changes before the Trump administration takes office. In terms of congressional action, it's important to understand what changes can and can't be made or how the changes are made in immigration. Immigration law has a lot of different sources, which is one of the reasons that it's so complex. But of course, we have the immigration statute. That's the laws. The laws have to be made by Congress. So the laws, and as you know the phrase, it takes an act of Congress, meaning it's not likely to happen because Congress is not necessarily efficient. Anyway, immigration law is comprised of the statutes, the regulations that the agencies implement, and then policies, procedures, priorities that are implemented, some of them unspoken and unwritten that we don't necessarily know about until we see them in action. My point is that the underlying statute of immigration law is unlikely to change at least anytime soon. Yes, it's possible that Congress could make changes, but that's going to take a while. You have to have a bill and both houses have to approve the bill and then it has to go to the president. So that's not likely to change, but the changes we're likely to see are more likely to come through things like executive orders, policy changes, just processing changes, like I said, that they don't necessarily announce. But again, we shouldn't see those until the presidential administration takes effect in January. So those are some of the changes. As I said, those are not specific changes. We'll have a specific post on that, but so those are some of the changes that we can expect. So where do we go from here? Today is, that I'm recording it, is November 6th. Where do we go from here? You just told me take a deep breath. I'm not sure if I exhaled, but we take a deep breath. Stay up to date. So when you are staying up to date, make sure that you're staying up to date with reliable sources. Immigration law is very, very complex. There are aspects of immigration law that immigration attorneys who do this day in and day out get confused about. I don't know everything that there is to know in immigration law. I specialize in employment-based immigration law and family-based immigration law. There are aspects regarding asylum, deportation, humanitarian visas that I just don't know a lot about. So my point is that no one knows everything, and to make sure you're getting your information from reliable sources. And we will also continue to keep everyone updated through our email newsletters. I'm very active on LinkedIn through our videos that we post on YouTube, Facebook, and my personal LinkedIn page. To the extent that there's significant changes that affect our client base, we'll have webinars. So we are going to do our best, of course, to make sure that we have clear, transparent, and accurate information available to everyone who's interested in receiving that information. Number two, seek legal guidance. If you're not sure about a situation, I know for me, I have general anxiety disorder, so I will worry about anything and everything. But a lot of times I find that having information really is helpful in reducing anxiety. So if you are in a situation that you're just not sure about, schedule a time with an immigration attorney, whether that's me, and I hope it is, but or another immigration attorney who's qualified. Seek help, seek guidance. This is not the time to start filing things on your own. I know that sometimes fees are prohibitive, in terms of your budget, but at least speak with an immigration attorney before you take action, a qualified immigration attorney who has experience and is knowledgeable in that particular area of immigration law that's relevant to your case. Be proactive. If you are eligible for an immigration benefit, I really would consider filing now. I'm not saying that that's going to be the magic solution and that if you file today that you're going to have your case approved before the Trump administration takes office and you'll be totally unaffected. I'm not saying that at all. I'm also not saying file now and put together a sloppy case and just get it in the door just to get it done. You have to be reasonable about this, of course, but I do think it makes sense to take action now if you're able to get cases in the door. Sometimes, a lot of times when there are policy shifts or changes or regulatory changes, those changes affect cases going forward, not cases that are already filed. That's not always the case. So like I said, this is not the magic answer, but there is a benefit in a lot of cases to going ahead and filing now so that your case is not potentially negatively affected by less favorable changes down the road. The other thing about being proactive is, and I know I said I wasn't going to get into specific changes, but I really do think that case processing times will potentially get a lot longer because of some changes that I think the administration will implement. So the sooner you file, the sooner you secure your place in line, so to speak. So that's another benefit of being proactive and taking action now, if at all possible. And then know your rights. Make sure that you understand your rights, especially if you are undocumented or if you're in a status that is, or have an immigration, status isn't the right word, but it's an immigration classification that is subject to potential change. For example, I'm talking about DACA, TPS, things like that. There are organizations that we can connect you with if we're not able to help that have information and can help protect your rights as a human. So I want to wrap it up there. Like I said, we'll do another video on the changes that we anticipate seeing in the Trump administration, both in the employment-based and family-based sectors. But know for now that we are here. The Sumner Immigration Law team is here. We're not going anywhere. We are standing by our clients, both our current clients, our past clients, our future clients. It's an honor to help everyone navigate this process, even more so when we will be and are in such a challenging environment. It may not be fun, but we will get through it and do everything that we can to help you be successful and do that with grace and compassion and empathy. So I hope that you find some comfort in this message. Otherwise, keep breathing deeply, do what it is that nourishes you, and thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.